let's get an insight into what's been going on. I recently admitted that I wasn't doing my choices exercise every day, and I want to make a commitment to starting that again as of today. It's a ritual I had for a while to do my choices each day. It dropped off and I've got tunnel visioned onto some other projects. This is Editing Bevan. I've just come in to interject here. If you watch this video to the end, you'll see that I get a pleasant surprise. The Udemy course for Drupal that I built, let's say, months ago. For a while I didn't see any results after I created that. I launched that course. I made a video about launching that course. I was celebrating, and then nothing really happened, right? No enrollments, no money. And I thought, well, I've got to start marketing it. And that took me very much down this journey of building a brand, creating a community. As of today, that's bumped up in priority. It's re-energized me a little bit, and I'm looking at building another course at this point. I've made the very first steps into doing that. I've created a to-do item and a bit of an outline and a plan to start working on my next course. I am developing a brand, and a big skill set I bring from my past and my history is an expertise in Drupal, web development in general, but especially in Drupal. That's one of my challenges about building this brand. What is my brand? Because one thing I know for sure is I don't want to build a brand just purely on Drupal itself. If my brand is who I am, then that's going to be in there. I just wanted to leave with that. So back to the video. Wanted to go across a lot of the different things I've been doing recently, because it's all that exercising, being transparent and documenting the journey of taking all my life experience from careers. I've got all that experience as a web developer, my experience of working with my coach and the natural success stuff, other things I've picked up along the way, and where I'm at with this. This is an exercise in just getting something done. I haven't been making videos. I want to build some momentum and get better at this and do it more and try and just produce content. And so I want to try and deliver value. I want to try and give you something that's entertaining, hold your attention. This video here by Gary V. I was watching that video and having lots of things where I was thinking about where I agree with it, how that applies to me. And I think it might be a good idea to grab that video and do a playthrough and stop it at times when I want to interject and go, that's a really interesting point he's made. How does that apply to my life? How am I going to adapt that? What's my insecurities? Do I fit with that? I think that would be a great exercise to play that video along and give a bit of a commentary, start a conversation with you guys about what you think. So that's one of the ideas I've got. This is my content matrix, right? This is where I'm trying to document what kind of content I'm planning to create, have a bit of a content strategy happening. I got this would be Vanessa Lau. She presents this content matrix idea. Look at that. So she comes up with this table here of a content matrix where you've got a bunch of content pillars down the left of mistakes, myths, tips, inspiration, personal belief shift, objection, social proof. Mine aren't exactly like that. They're very similar. And then she's got a list of different topics related to what she speaks about in her channel. And I think this is a brilliant idea for coming up with content. And see, there's 100 posts in 30 days. So it's a great way to come up with some ideas. So I've been working through that as well and came back to this is my version of it, my copy of it. She's a big Notion fan. She uses Notion a lot. Let's have a quick look at what Notion is. I should be able to jump in. That's not how to do it. We can do this. So this is the Notion website. I've never used Notion, but since I mentioned it with Vanessa Lau, I thought we'd come and have a quick look at what it is. So it's an application that a lot of people are using to organize things, keep notes, organize tables, keep things. I think it does a lot more than that. I'm really curious to see what Notion's website. They write, plan, organize, and play, turn ideas into action. Obviously, they've plugged AI power stuff. Everything's AI nowadays. And your AI, look at AI, your AI everything app. Lots of people are using it. So basically, see, you can do like there's a task board in here. You know, you can take notes, project data. You know, here's a like little wiki page with different. You can make these templates and how you format your documentation and stuff. So that's what Notion's for. I've never particularly used it. and I think there's a free version of it. It's probably something worth having a look at some point, but it's just been on my radar as something that people are using. I'm not using it. Back to the video. This software here is Obsidian. This is a note-taking software which saves all the files as Markdown. If you're a technical person, you know what Markdown is. That means I can commit it to GitLab. I can actually commit and push this to my Git and go and read it up on GitLab too. What I've done is, here's a bit of a draft, a bit of an idea about what my channel and brand is about. It's fluid, it's a work in progress. So let's just read through that. So my channel empowers young professionals who feel trapped by conventional success to break free and embrace true self-expression. The metaphor of a castle where the king hoards life's riches from his subjects describes teaching of how to escape your internal prison and live a life you truly love. So there's a big part of this journey is about me doing that myself, right? That's getting out in the world, not doing the mundane, not what do I say mundane? The mainstream ideas, the common wisdom, the things that everybody does and end up with an ordinary life, taking a plunge, taking a chance, trying something different. Follow me on my journey as I learn to do that. So you see, this channel is about self-expression as the mechanism for change, doing versus taking action, expressing your true heart and what you truly want. Most people express what they think they need to get what they want. Just express yourself, right? So share who you are with the world, your passions, yourself, your creations. This is beyond speaking. This goes to creation. Create what you love to create, art or business. Just express it. The path will open for you when you take it. You may need your structures to fall in order to rebuild what you are creating from your heart. Now, that's an experience I've definitely had. Just being here in this position now, moving from Sydney, leaving the job I had, not looking for another one, trying to build something up from scratch, start again, build a business of my own, try and build something for myself. I'm going out on a limb. Teach by learning. This is me learning on the journey and documenting that as I go. So publicly document my learning. Look at that. Let's edit this while we're here. Publicly document my learning in a vlog and other videos and social media content. Hi, here we are. I'm doing it. So here's my content matrix. And as we spoke about Vanessa's pillars here, I've brought those down, pardon me, down myself. So we've got, mistakes, myths, tips, inspiration, personal stories, belief shift, objections, social proof, promotions. And here's my topics, right? It's a lot of them. And I think this is too many. I need to refine this. At the moment, I don't think that's one of the huge big challenges, right? Is trying to, you see a lot of people on social media talking about niching down, finding what it is you want to speak to, what's your core message, what's your journey. You see, some people got guitar channels, other people cooking channels, some people do vlogs, etc. It's one of the reasons I like Gary Vee though, because his philosophy is a little bit allow for a little bit of, hey, why don't you be your niche, your unique combination of the things you've done. Even in that video, he spoke about the Renaissance man.
How much can everyone be a Renaissance man and women? How can you be a variety show? You just gotta do a lot more and a lot of different stuff.
You can see all these different content ideas I've got, all these different video ideas I've got about mistakes. The 5 missteps I made while integrating personal passions with my business ventures. Just I've had ChatGPT go through and do a lot of these. Some of these I'm making those missteps right now, right? This is documenting my journey. I'm making mistakes. I've shared some of those going down the wrong track. So it's interesting. I can build a video idea out of that. Go through that. If you guys want to hear about any of these, let me know. Put it down in the comments and tell me. Lessons from failure, success stories that started with big mistakes. That's an interesting one to go and research. Find some stories of people that have already succeeded. There's a classic one of Colonel Sanders just comes straight to mind as a good story to be able to tell. So find some stories of other people's success and tell those stories. I think that'd be interesting. You can see, but as I keep going, right, we've got mindset, motivation, misconceptions that can sabotage your entrepreneurial mindset. And think about this, we're still just talking about mistakes in these particular areas. 3 missteps in lighting setup that can ruin your video quality. I'm still trying to get my lighting right. Look at my background's not fantastic. Getting better at it, it's improving. 5 sound quality mistakes you should never make. Literally, I sat down and recorded a video like this yesterday, forgot to turn my microphone on. I love these listicle ideas, right, though. 5 sound quality mistakes you should never make. So you can see how I changed my process at one point, and I went from doing these one idea per things to getting these listicle ideas, then a deep dive in the discussion. So it's a lot of content ideas, and I've been avoiding it. I've put this together and I've avoided it. So let's go to the myths. Debunking myths about work-life balance. Well, we've got the top 5 myths about starting YouTube, 3 myths about monetizing your content early on, 5 misconceptions about what it takes to be successful on YouTube. These are all great things I could go and research and see what other people got to say and bring it together in my perception. I love this idea of following Gary Vee and giving my impression of what he's got to say. I think great way for me to learn, great way for you to learn, be fantastic. So one of the tasks I need to do is perhaps refine this, because this is like, what do you say, there's so much ideas on here. It's almost overwhelming. There's too many ideas, and I'm struggling to go pick one, make it. This is this journey of my perfectionism. Like, I look through this, I don't want to pick the wrong one, right? But hey, how many videos am I going to make? How much of this am I going to do? How regularly am I going to do it? Why? I built this a few weeks ago, and it was probably just the pivotal moment before I started going down a hole and doing the wrong things. We've been talking about here in ChatGPT. If we go to this Bevan's Bench GPT I made, right? It's a custom GPT. Just a bit of insight on how this works is I can edit this GPT, and you can see that if I go to configure it, bit of a description about what it is. You can see, something's broken in here. But here's the OpenAI spec for tell it how to speak to my website down in here. So what we can do with that is do things like, hey, please get a list of my to-do items. See if it works just saying that. Live demo. And look at that, it went spoke to my website and pulled out my to-do items. There's review my content planning spreadsheet. I've got to update these a bit, but it's nice to be able to chat with that. I can even make it, please act as Gary Vee in considering my end goals and my content strategy. Which tasks do you think I should do next, etc. It can create tasks. I can just sit here and go, if I'm having a chat with ChatGPT about something, I can be in it. We should stop talking for the moment. Right, I can be in just a normal GPT chat. So I've been watching some videos on like native bees and things recently. So tell me about Australian native bees. For example, I'm just having a conversation with ChatGPT and goes, tell me about bees, and then go, you know what, I want to investigate buying a hive. So what I can do, I can go down here and go to Bevan's Bench, and I can go,
please add a to-do item about finding somewhere to acquire a native beehive.
Let's see if it works. It's a live demo. Starting action. Gonna make me confirm the contact with it. So I think this is really handy to be when you're having a conversation about stuff. Look at that. To-do item has been added. So what we should be able to do now is go to my Bevan's Bench website here. Look, there's my to-do item. Look at that. Find somewhere to acquire a native beehive starter. Gives me a description even. Look at that. Don't know why I did it in progress. We'll work on that. But how cool is that, right? I got that working. I built that. I want to get these to-do items out of my website. I want to put them on, this doesn't exist yet, but create instead of a www.bevansbench, go and create a new site at like todo.bevansbench and just have that as a separate website that I can use to house my to-do items. And I've started working on that too. This link here this is it's not very themed, it's a very basic little website, but this is the work I did yesterday. But here's a very minimal, unthemed version of Drupal, but I've brought in this Kanban board module. So I can go and view at the backlog. I can add a task. I want to try and keep it as minimal and lightweight as possible to perhaps build an application out of it. So, and that's partly what I said when I got my own way of setting up Drupal, by saying what I do is have this script that will actually build Drupal from scratch. Right, there's a little bash script that goes through and creates a dev environment. I can tell it to clean, it'll wipe out the whole environment and all in code, build that whole site up, install the modules, set it up, configure it, even export and import content that I can have so that I can just bring that site down and bring up a new one. If I do it this way, where I can just bring my site down, destroy it, and have it all built up again from code. I can build it from scratch. I can do that kind of transition easy. So now that I'm building for myself, these are the ideas I can play with. There are reasons why in a lot of enterprise grade things that's not feasible. Drupal does a lot of what you call revisions. So when you create content, you can create a new version of that content. When you export that content, most of the exporting things don't export all the revisions, and revisioning's quite a complicated system in Drupal. That's probably the biggest drawback. There's things about storing secrets, like user passwords and such, when you're exporting data and want to build a site from scratch. But for my purposes, I think it's going to work really well. So here we are with a minimal version of it. I'm a little rambling all over the place. That's what we're learning. Hey, we'll get good at this. Let me know if I ramble too much. So that kind of means if I switch to using that Kanban board, which I kind of want to, like why build a to-do list in Drupal again from scratch when someone's got a module that does it? But it kind of means going back to the drawing board a little bit with this Bevan's Bench custom GPT and redefining all that stuff. This took ages, right? To that stuff when I go those actions, these things down in here, this whole open API schema in here took me quite a while to put together. So switching might be a big job, but this is the first step towards that, is create a development environment designed just to host the to-do items. And then at some point I need to export my to-do items from my existing Drupal into the new one. Is Bangalow Brackets. This is their website. Go and check them out. Like, you can look at the subs. I took a video of these guys the other day playing. I went up, performed the other night, had a really good time, and so much fun to go up there and perform. So I've been learning a few new things. What I played the other day was what do we got? Was Johnny Cash. Love is a burning thing. Right, been practicing that, been learning a Nick Cave song that I want to play. It kind of suits my voice quite well. I've been having fun doing that. I wanted to explore. So that's something I'm working on. Finally got strings on my guitar. I'm back into playing guitar again. See, this is an attempt to try and just get some videos out. You got these videos I took of me.
Okay, so fermenting cucumbers. I've done this before and it's not turned out very good. I'm going to give it another shot because
this video
I've got hold of a batch.
And then someone walked in at the last minute, and you see me kind of at the end here, and I drag this, sort of lose my place. Right, but I've got this video of, making these cucumbers and stuff. I'm a bit stuck. Do I want to edit this? These have been fermented now. They're not fantastic. They don't turn out great. I've got some work to do. This one about the sauerkraut. I made some. Didn't turn out the best. It's not the best one I've made, but it was pretty good.
This is the last one did this.
I've got some more sauerkraut ready to open, and do I want to film that? Do I, get caught in this procrastination? It's due. It's ready to open. I don't want to open it without filming it. Filming it adds friction to the whole process. This creating content thing's tricky and hard. I want to just get better at creating this content, so I'm creating this, getting this up. I've still got my Udemy course, right, which I haven't looked at for ages. So this course, I spent a few months creating it. Oh, I thought, why didn't I see an email about that? Look at my course rating. Woo! I've had 5 enrollments. Look, I earned $20. I didn't know that. All right. That's fascinating. That's interesting. Alrighty. Cool. I expected to see nothing, so you got to see me find that out. Well done. Thanks for hanging around and seeing that. That's energizing. And it's not a lot of money, right? But it's not nothing. I expected to see absolutely nothing in here. That's encouraging. Okay. Anyway, thanks for being with me and seeing where I'm at and what's my journey of trying to make a switch into doing something new. Give me your insight. Tell me what you think about how this is going, and catch up with you later. Cheers. Thanks.